guys, welcome to Bar Z. My name's Stan, and welcome to episode 14. We made it through 13 unscathed, and I think we're on to 14 and red hot and rolling. We are done with Gema. You know, I'm going to show you around a little bit. We've got a couple of little things we got done, but we're going to show you the last few touches. We're due for some cleanup, and we're going to pull away from Gema until they're ready for startup. And startup and debugging is a huge thing. As you can see, I'm still not driving my truck. It's still inside the building, and there it's going to sit until so I don't see any more salt on the roads. It's not snowing here anymore. All right, but it's currently I think our high today was 0. You say 0 what? It's 0 degrees, and it is really miserable for a Southern California boy. All right. Well, let's get into this episode. Okay, well, there's the booth behind me. We've got the stainless steel dance floor all cleaned off, caulked, sealed, finished. Looks good. Manual guns are up. There's 2 manual guns hanging from the walls. This is a manual station here. So this is where they spray the upper part of the trailer as it comes down the line, and heads through back towards those red scissor lifts back there behind me. So it's actually looking pretty good back there. Gema's still got a little bit of plastic welding to do in the center portion of the booth, but outside of that, it's pretty much complete. Let's go take a look at some of the other stuff.
Do you want this tied together or no?
No.
No?
Okay, I thought I'd video this before I put the plastic back on. That's all our cable routing finished. Cables, hoses. These hoses go through the wall. There's actually sensing air pressure out to these different Magna Helix. This is the final filter, which is a HEPA box. This is the collector filter, which is outside. Those are what those 2 hoses are. And this is system velocity. This is going up to a pitot tube up in the upper duct. That's that red and black tube. And it goes way up there. I don't know if you can see that up there. There it is. With that red and black tube up there, that's system velocity. So you can use a Magna Helix to read velocity or static pressure. So this cabinet's done. Thought I'd show it to you before I covered it back up with plastic, because as you can see, they still haven't fixed my wall leak yet. So the leak is coming from up there, and we're just going to cover our stuff up. But we unwrapped it long enough to get our cabling in. This is a manual gun, complete and ready to run in all respects. And all they're doing today is going around and tidying up some of these wire looms, and they're doing a good job. Everything looks really nice. Hosing back here on all the gun movers, making sure they're tangle free. As you can see, there's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 cord and hose drops per unit. Everything over here looks nice. All the hosing goes through that gutter underneath. Grounding looks nice. All their wrapping looks good. A lot of cables up there. They really get busy over by the control panel. The OptiCenter is busy. There's hoses that break left and break right. They come down to pumps here and here, and the fluid bed right in the center right there. And then the control panel's got no hoses, but quite a bit of cabling. Those are tidied up, and those went into bulkheads left and right. So that's all finished up. So I got some cover plates to put on. This is where we actually pull the hoses in to here to make all the connections to the gun pumps, and to the air manifold. There's an air manifold in there. The HMI is done. You saw that before in a previous video, but that's all cabled up. Light switches are in. Those are the light switches right there. And we read that purple cord's going up to the rotary encoder for conveyor speed. Conveyor's actually running right now. Heard a buzzer about a half hour ago, and they went ahead and started the line. But everything's neatening up really good, and all we got to do is just tidy up some wiring, clean up our tie wraps, cut all the ones out that aren't doing anything, and give us a wrap. We got some routing done here. These look nice. Down to this cabinet. Over to that manual gun station, looks good. There's just tie wraps everywhere. And I just showed you the sieve working. Cabling and hoses to all that. Ryan's over here tidying up the last little bit of the gun movers. The guns are currently fully extended, so they're all out into the spray chamber. Just to get out of the way, because this is a tangled mess back here. But we're getting those tidied up. Alright, I thought I'd show you the OptiCenter before we close it up. These are all the pumps going out to all the different guns. These are all powder hoses that go out to all the different guns. These are trigger hoses for manual guns. And they all, every single one of them bolts down to those black caps back there. They bolt down to kind of a manifold. And those are accessible through this box here. So if they don't need a hole, they just plug it up. But that's the fluid bed, and that's where it actually sucks its powder straight into each pump. And then these are what pumps it out to each individual gun. These are quick change. You push this button, you can pop this out, grab an air nozzle, blow out the powder hose, and clean out that hose and get ready to switch colors if you want to switch colors. So it's as easy as that to get the powder out of the hose and do a color change or do a maintenance on it. So just real quick release. They use all quick release hoses here. Those are like the Parker Prestolock fittings on everything. So that's all the gun pumps, and there's covers that go on that on both sides. And like I said before, fluid bed. You got an O-ring lid and a gasket, and that's where they can dump it out. Everything gets sent to the fluid bed out of that shaker. That's a powder shaker there. So they'll bring a box or a drum of powder or whatever in, and that'll pump it over into the fluid bed there in the back. Oh, fuck this. Well, we're taking a couple of trucks here on Saturday. I was kind of surprised. They started sending over some washer components, and they sent over some of the duct for the environmental room and some duct for the no, these are the duct for the big oven here. Some stainless steam pipes for our washer. The environmental room's something completely different. Those are those insulated ducts here. This is for like an HVAC type setup. Those ACs we set outside. Jeff's unloading those right now. So 2 trucks today. Kind of came out of nowhere. It's nice to be able to pull into a building. Building is heated enough, but it's pretty cold outside. So it's nice in here. So that was our Saturday. So this is probably going to end up in episode 14. Okay, I thought I'd show you this. I just bought, I didn't buy a set of them, I only bought this one. This is a drill tap. And it's got a pretty unique type drill bit on it. It's a progressive drill bit. It's a tricloidal. I'm hoping you can see that. There you go. So it's got a really interesting lead in. I've been using this for a while. I got you zoomed way in on a 1032 right now. And I tell you, I've been using this for a while, drilling and tapping some of the big heavy iron beams and stuff, just to get a 1032 screw in it. And you can run these at high speed, and the tap doesn't sneak up on you the way the other ones do. I'm going to grab one of the original ideals. This is 1032 National Fine, and that's made by Ideal. But it's a pretty interesting little drill bit design. And I'm going to show you some of the originals, but I am a really big fan of this one. It drills nice, and the tap doesn't sneak up on you to the point where you think you're going to snap it. I've broken so many of these things running them at a high speed, and the tap just sneaks up on you and grabs before you know it. Let me show you one of the originals. Okay, here's an original 1032, and that's just a plain old drill tip, which is nice because you can resharpen that tip if it gets dull. No big deal. But I've snapped so many of these things because they lead in. See, that's just a single drill, and it just leads straight into the tap. And if your tap drops in hard, oh, boom, and then all of a sudden you're threading. And if you haven't throttled back enough, that's a spiral fluke tap, and with a real thin web, and you'll just snap that thing. But the way these things are, where'd it go? There it is. Come on, focus. There it is. So the way these things are, they've got that double edge, kind of a progressive drill bit, and it's tricloidal, so it'll stay centered. It's not going to wiggle around on you. So it gives you plenty of warning. It's got a real gentle lead into that tap. Big fan of these. Ideal, you did a great job on these. And I think you're going to break less taps. Of course, you're going to sell less taps too. So it might not be good for them, but it's good for me because these little guys are expensive. Anyways, I'll throw a little link up for the Ideal, for the new Ideal sets. Well, that last video clip, wow, Stan, you really need to clean your fingernails. I don't want to hear any fingernail comments. That ain't what my video's about. Yes, I know my hands are nasty. That's what they look like in real life. The previous videos, what they look like at 10x. I was zoomed in pretty tight. And that can make anything look bad. So, no fingernail comments. They'll be ignored. All right, let's push on with the show. Okay, now the Gema's all wrapped up. We were able to get on an oven today. We actually did some return ducting. This is return ducts that go into the heater boxes that aren't here yet. There's a big void right there, but that open duct right there gets piped into a heater box there. And that occurs again here. So we were able to hang those two ducts this morning, and then we jumped on the washer. Let's go see what's going on with the washer. Let's start off with the plans. We'll go look at the plans for the washer, and then we'll see what the boys are up to. Well, first of all, this is what we're tasked on to install. There's an existing I-beam up there, which I'll show you in a second. And then there's some horseshoes that have to go in and get welded to the bottom of that I-beam. And then from there, there's some all threads that go down to this is the roof of my washer. So before we can get any walls in, these have to go in. Otherwise, they're just going to be in our way. All right. But that's kind of a top-down view of the washer there. And there's an open top. You can see that slot down the middle of the washer. It's got a longitudinal slot right down the open top. So let's go see what they're doing to prep for, how many of these? 16. There's 16 of these horseshoes that have to go in. Well, the wall hockey sticks locate on these tabs. There's a tab there and a tab there, so that's a wall section. And you see another one there, another one there, another one there. So this occurs in 16 places. But what we have to do is we have to go up to that wide eye beam up there. You can see where we've ground the paint away. So how do you get the measurement from down here to up there repeatably? You know, it's a problem solving exercise. And I'll show you how I overcame it. I did it with dead tree carcasses. And what we do is we go through and we mark where the tabs are here on the washer, line that up with the center line there, and then that gives us center lines, conveyor center lines, and center lines for our 3/8 all thread drops. And then from there you just park a laser on it and go up in the air and mark, cut, grind, do whatever you got to do to get your get prep for your horseshoes to go in. Simple enough. Well, we've been rolling on the washer all day. I really haven't shot any video, but we got hockey sticks up and horseshoes up around the conveyor. This is all just stainless steel framing. And they all get tied in with all thread like you see on this first one. Had to do a quick mock-up on that just to see where we're at with it. And we've just got, it's a split top, so those are 2x4s we got screwed into the channels just to maintain our distance all the way down. So we're up to here, so we're almost done with the washer framing, and then we're ready for the rest of the stainless trim and everything. So that's how much we got done today on this thing. Boy, I seem to want to focus. There we go. So much to look at, didn't know what to focus on. All right, but I think this is a 60-foot, 58-foot stainless steel washer. Coming along good. Today is Wednesday. We still got 2 more days to work on this. Okay, I thought this was interesting. This is how you run, you cannot run a conveyor chain at 2 different speeds. Obviously, it's a one common chain. But if you need parts to move fast and then slow, you have to do what they call a pass off. The carriers or the load bar that's carrying the trailer comes down on this one line that's running pretty quick right here. And then that drive chain sweeps away, and another drive chain sweeps in here running at a slower speed and grabs it. That's on a different drive, different motor, everything, but it passes off right here between this chain and this chain. Sorry, it gets blurry there. The second chain that runs through my washer and down through the powder coat system runs very slow. It only runs 4 feet a minute. But that one there runs very rapidly. Don't know the feet per minute on that one, but that's how you change conveyor speeds with a second drive chain and a separate system. That's the only way to do it. Well, as you can see behind me, the washer is definitely progressing. In the center, you can see we've got a 2x4 scabbed in there to keep our conveyor slot at a constant all the way down while we plumb up the walls, get everything tack welded together. Those frames actually tack weld into the to the tank and the drain boards that are built into the base. So they all get welded together. And when we run the trim, there's trim that runs down the outside corners up top that maintains the integrity of the system, basically, and they get welded on too. And it's channels that face each other, and this is considered a composite washer. The walls and ceiling of this are polypropylene. They're 3/4 inch polypropylene, which is and it's in its natural state. It's white, it's translucent, it lets a little bit of light into the washer. It's kind of nice. A regular washer is usually all stainless steel construction, which is just a dark hole. This thing just kind of glows. After you put all the polypropylene up, you can still see very well inside the washer what's going on. A lot of the shop lighting will get in there and illuminate the inside of that thing through the polypropylene. All right, but that's probably going to be for next week. We're running out of parts on this load. We're supposed to get another truck tomorrow, but we don't know what's on it. So what's on the truck is the big mystery. I made a phone call. Hopefully they'll call me back. Today's Thursday, but we're supposed to get a truck on Friday, but we still don't know what's on it, whether it's oven parts or washer parts. I hate changing boats midstream. I wish they would just stick with one unit and send me all the stuff for one unit, but that hasn't been the case on this entire job, which is, you set up the welding machines for, we got 2 welding machines going. You set up the welding machines for stainless. Okay, we're doing stainless today, great. And then, we're doing oven tomorrow. Oh, I'll break them down and we're gonna switch over to mild steel, switch the gas, switch the wire in both MIGs, and we're doing mild steel today. So, it kind of sucks to be bounced around like that, but what it is what it is. All right, let's see what else progresses between now and Friday night. Now it's coming up to the next speed of chain, and that trailer is going to start moving more rapidly. You'll see it when it gets a hold of it. Okay, well, it's late Thursday, and we're not getting any more parts. We're not getting a truck till either late Friday or early Saturday. So this is about as far as we can go. So we got all the washer framing up, and all those horseshoes up, mounted up top, which isn't a lot. This is about a day and a half's worth of work getting all this framing in. And we still got our 2x4s in the middle, and they're going to stay for a while. Until we get some structure to this thing, because right now it's just a kind of a big wiggly mess. But after we start getting some longitudinal trim and channels and things like that in there, it starts to gain a little bit of strength, and it gets really strong when you put the plastic in. And like I said before, this is considered a composite washer. It's 304 stainless and polypropylene. All right. I think we're gonna close up this video for this week. This is week number 14, because we're following up on lucky number 13. And they ran the conveyor a little while today. I'll include a video clip of that, or I already did include a video clip of that, of them testing going from a slow moving chain to a fast moving chain. And it didn't pick up, so they had some dog trouble. The dogs didn't pick it up on the high-speed chain. Yeah, this is the contraption they're going to use to lift the trailers off of the conveyor line. Just looks like a little pneumatic or hydraulic lift to pick the trailer up, unhook it, and drop it down on all fours after it's assembled. This is the assembly area. But that's their setup there. Back over there is where they were doing their test for the offline, where it comes off and comes over that way. And that was a fail, but they got it fixed. All right. Okay, you guys, hope you enjoyed. I know it wasn't a whole lot for this week. We were doing some detail work for Gema in the beginning of the week, and then the rest of the week was just kind of a filler with washer parts. But I'm hopeful on my next truck that I get some stuff to keep me busy for a while. I want to slam this job home and get done. So enjoy this with your morning coffee. We'll see you next week for episode number 15. Have a good one.